been auditing a lot of Pinterest accounts lately, and I've audited a lot of Pinterest accounts over the years, and one common theme that always comes up is that the majority of people's websites, the Pinterest users on them, are pinning images from their websites for the website owner. Now you might be asking yourself, Heather, why is this important? Why do we care? Of course people are pinning things from our website. It's important because if the majority of people are actually pinning things from your website and your website imagery is not optimized for Pinterest, then chances are you're missing out on a big opportunity to get more reach, get further indexed into the Pinterest algorithm for different keywords that you want to rank for, and just overall like missing out on some opportunities. So we're going to talk about social sharing buttons for Pinterest, specifically for WordPress in today's video. I've been getting a lot of questions around what plugins specifically I would recommend when I am doing my consulting jobs lately that I've been working hours and hours on. So I thought I would actually make this just a long form piece of content so you could actually see what plugins I recommend, how they operate, and how you can add them to your website. So we're actually going to hop into a screen share and I'm going to show you exactly how I use my plugin. I specifically use Social Warfare, and I'm going to show you a couple of other options that you can use as well. So the first plugin we're going to talk about is the plugin that I actually use myself, and I have used them since probably 2017, if not since 2016. I use it because the price and the tool set offered within the price is actually really fair, and they've never actually raised their rate. So I have 2 sites. It's actually cheaper for me to just do 2 websites for just shy of $60 a year instead of up to 5 sites for $89, because I don't have 5 sites. I don't need 5 website licenses. So I do 2 single sites on the $29 license per year, and it has worked phenomenally. Now, I will show you the other 2 before we talk about Social Warfare and the settings inside of my website. So the other one is Hubbub. It is previously known as Social Pug and Grow by Mediavine. It is now called Hubbub. It is the same tool, so some of you might already have this, and you might have acquired it through a different name. The price on this one for a 1-site license is $49 a year, and you do get to put custom Pinterest information in, and then there's always a hover button for Pinterest, and then there's 18 social networks you can add. If you go pro, there's obviously a lot more features. Apparently you get an analytics dashboard and things like that, but that's for 1 license, $129 a year. I think that's kind of expensive personally. I probably would go with this one if I were you. And then for Tasty Pens, this has been around for a long time. A lot of recipe bloggers actually use this plugin, and you can just get a pins version of Tasty Pens for $49 a year, and you get save buttons on images, and it's for 1 site. So this is basic. Basic includes a custom pin title and description, alt text for SEO, hidden Pinterest images, a follow button after pinning. That's actually really nifty. And then some other things that you can use inside that plugin. So this is actually, for their tool set, like I mentioned, this is a decent price. I still prefer my $29 a year because I get all of these different networks. I get to dedicate Pinterest images, titles, all of that stuff. So those are the 3 tools that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to just shift now and only talk about Social Warfare because that is the one that I use and pay for. So inside of your WordPress dashboard in your plugin library, you are going to install both Social Warfare and Social Warfare Pro. So if we come in here, you'll see they're both activated. The Pro needs the basic Social Warfare to actually work. So then when you go into Social Warfare, and you come in here, so this is the first screen you're going to see, you can add any of these buttons to your sharing button thing. I just have 5. These are the most commonly used platforms, so that's what I use, but there are definitely different options that you can add. You can do button ordering, so if you want to drag and drop them, you can emphasize specific buttons, so if you wanted to emphasize those. And then under share counts, I have these turned off, it looks like, and then there's a minimum number of shares or delay in hours before it updates. So if you have share counts turned on, you can definitely customize that a lot. I don't care about any of that. Social meta tags. So this is going to show open graph tags and Twitter cards. These are turned on for now. Like, I don't share anything to Twitter. I don't use that platform. So I don't customize it in my social warfare settings, but I can show you what that looks like. And then the position and placement. So this is, these are global settings. So right now I have lead pages on my website, which I'm going to be removing soon. So this specific one is going to go away. But basically on your home page, you can dictate exactly what kind of buttons and where you want them placed. So on home, archive, and category pages, I have them turned off. On website posts, I have them above and below content. And then on pages, I have them turned off. And lead pages, I have below the content and they're on. Although this really actually should just be off. And then I'm going to click Save Changes. And then if you scroll on down, you get the image hover button. So it's actually turned on, and I'll show you what this looks like. Then you can dictate exactly the position and the size of that button. And if you wanted to hide them on anchor links or anything like that, you could also go that far. They're turned off for now. Moving on down, I don't know what Yumly is. I honestly couldn't tell you. And then if you wanted to promote social warfare, you could actually put your affiliate link in here. I do have an affiliate link, and I definitely could put it in there. We're going to move past that for now. So moving on to styles, this is what your buttons are going to look like on your site. These are the styles that I prefer. Flat and fresh with custom color outlines, and then I have the custom color set to my brand color, and then it's 100% of the image, and then the custom outlines are this color. So if we just go to heatherfarris.com and we navigate to the blog, let me actually just show you what some of this looks like. So here are the buttons. So they are just a white outline before you hover them, and when you hover them, they start moving and they animate and they turn one of my brand colors. Now, moving on down, floating sharing is on, but I honestly have never seen this on my website, so I don't know what is happening with that. And then this is the click to tweet style. I don't have this on my website. I don't have anything with the Twitter stuff turned on. Inside social identity, you are going to put in your site-wide identities for Twitter and Pinterest. You're going to set your open graph information. This is just article. Open graph is basically what websites like Twitter and Facebook are going to pull over. And then obviously more Twitter stuff, which again, I don't use. Inside of advanced, you can turn it on for advanced Gutenberg blocks, frame busters, link shortenings turned off, and then you can play around with your analytics tracking. If you do use analytics inside of Google, the UTM tracking is actually really helpful to know when people are actually sharing stuff from your website. So I have all of that turned on. And then I have the advanced Pinterest settings, looks like turned off for now. So the pinned image for browser extensions is off, and the fallback and everything like that is off. We can actually turn some of this on. So this is going to be pulling, the description source is going to be pulling from either a custom pin description or alt text. My content manager is going to kill me once I tell her that I made this change. That's okay. And then it says Pinterest fallback image. If there is nothing inside of the actual settings on the post, you have a fallback. So show a selection of images on the page or show my featured image. I actually really like this. We're going to turn that on. I'm not going to show you registration because that's just going to show, like, it's just going to say, hey, your plugin's registered. Now let's head into a blog post so I can show you some of the settings inside the blog post and why this is important. Okay, so this is a blog post I wrote recently, or my content manager wrote it. I don't really know. But we have a featured image up here. So this is that fallback image if there's nothing in the Pinterest settings down below. So your social warfare settings are down here in this below section. And we have an open graph title and description. I usually pull the title of the blog post and the first sentence or first couple of sentences or the meta for this actual post. So the Yoast meta text will go here. And then I don't do anything for tweets because I don't use that platform. For Pinterest, we have multiple images in this post, and then we have a Pinterest-friendly description, and all of the settings for The browser extension, location, buttons, and floating buttons are all on by default, and those feed from the default settings that I just showed you. And that is it. Now, this is important because when people are sharing pins from your website, we only want them to be able to pull the images that you want pulled, that you dictated and said, hey, I want these images pulled, because you've optimized those images for Pinterest specifically. So this image has a title, it has a alt text, it also has a description that you've given to it. So the actual pin title from the image itself is going to pull from your media library. So in the image itself, the title is what's going to come over to Pinterest. So make sure you put a good title in there. And then if you don't have any alt text, you can use Tailwind's free alt text tool to actually create alt text for you. Now, this social warfare description box doesn't work well, and they have said that over the years that this was pretty much a failure, that they couldn't get the plugin to force this to go. But you can put information in the description, and that can be your fallback or your caption or your alt text. If you're going to use the alt text box, you do need to make sure it is optimized for screen readers, so make sure you do that and don't just use this for trying to get ahead for SEO, because Google doesn't like that anyways. And then you add this into your plugin. So once you have it in your plugin here, put your Pinterest description in, and then this post is going to pull that specific image when you hit Pinterest. So it's kind of off screen. Let me pull it over, and you can see there it is. So that is the image that is pulling for this specific post. Now, a couple more things within social warfare that you're going to want to do. So in the settings on social warfare, I was showing you that you can change the default, like where it pulls the description and content from. So let's just pop back over there because I want you to know what it's going to be pulling. So in the display for the fallback, it says custom pin description or image alt text if there's nothing there. Something else that you want to be aware of is when you add images to your website, if you don't tell it to just use either your featured image as a fallback or all the images in your blog, and you're not adding proper content to the images, then people are going to pin these, and you're not actually going to get any optimization juice from that over on Pinterest. So let me show you what I mean. So if you click into the media library for this image specifically, you can see I have a title, but I don't have any other copy. There's a little box here that says hover pin opt out, and I'm going to check that, and then it's going to turn off the hover on all the other images on the blog post. So like this one is obviously turned off because Sarah's doing that for me. But on mine, if I were to uncheck this box and then update this blog post, it's this one. We're going to pop over and we're going to hover over that one, and you'll see a Pinterest button now. So these don't have it because I turned it off, but this one has it. So if you are allowing people to pin any image from your website, you do want to make sure that you are fully optimizing those images inside your media library. So I'm actually going to turn that off, and I'm going to save this post again. That is like your quick and simplified tutorial for using social warfare and Pinterest pin it buttons. It is so important when you are using Pinterest for marketing that you are optimizing pins on your website, that you are allowing people to pin images on your website. So you can see we always have a Pinterest button or a Pinterest pin at the bottom of the site. Those hover buttons should be turned on for this, so I'll have to go and check the settings on those. But your website should be Pinterest friendly. So one way you make it Pinterest friendly is by adding sharing buttons, and then you optimize the images on your website for the platform. So making sure you're adding keywords in your title, adding keywords in your descriptions, and you are pinning those to the proper boards if you're pinning them yourself, but your people on your website will be pinning them to whatever boards they want them on. And that's it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any thoughts, any additions to my social sharing buttons list. and I'll see you next time. For WordPress, you can go and do your own research and figure out which ones are going to work for you, what tool sets you prefer over the others, what budget you want to stick within. These are the 3 that I have used. I have used all 3 of these over the years, whether for myself or for clients, and they do work really very well, and they have a really reliable tool set within them. So this is what I use. You can take this information and you can go out on the internet and you can do some more research, or you can use what we have. I also have a full blog post on these tools. If you want to see some more information about those, you can visit the blog post. It's going to be in the description down below. And if you need more Pinterest marketing tips, advice, how to optimize, how to create a Pinterest strategy, all of that stuff, head on over here to these videos.